What's up, gamers? How the heck are you? My name is Epic Pins, and in today's grounded video, I want to go over some of the maybe smaller things that we kind of glossed over in the public test server that we just didn't talk about a lot. I mean, I know some videos were probably made of these, I'm sure they were, but I want to really show off what it means about these smaller, not big things. Like armor kind of took over a lot of this update. Well, forget that. We're going to talk about some of the smaller things that took place, but they make a big impact, especially for a lot of the videos that I've made in the past, so this might just cancel them out. Anyway, let's get to the video. Hope you enjoy. All right, so we're gonna start off with the changes they made to this wonderful, amazing, stupid, shiny creature that I don't know why they did it. So the Scarab got nerfed, which is an odd nerf to have done, but it definitely happened, and there's not much more I can say about that. But basically what happened is they halved the health and then they reduced its visibility. So it can't see you as well as it used to see you. Basically, its forward vision is still pretty, not super far out, but pretty decently out. What changed majorly was its cone of vision. So it has to be, you have to be pretty in front of it for it to see you. But for the most part, you can sneak right up behind this little punk and just like punch him. Like nothing. See how he's not running away at all? Because he doesn't even know that I'm here. I literally run up and punch him. That's kind of what we're getting at here. That's how crazy this has gotten. So yes, I made videos on arrows and all those wonderful things that you can use and you still can use those things. Obviously, it will make it way easier to deal with, but the fact is you don't have to anymore. See? He's stuck right here. I mean, this is literally the quintessential thing that upgrades your weapons. And they just basically said, here, you can have it for free. Like, it used to be a challenge. Especially when it first came out, it was definitely a challenge. It's just not that way anymore. And that's sad. But, you know, here we are. And I just figured I'd let you guys know that it's really easy to get the Scarab now. If you watched my video previously and you were like, oh, the arrows are really useful, don't worry about it anymore. Just go punch it. Just go punch it, let it run scared into a wall, and keep punching it, and you'll be fine. Nothing bad will ever happen. Don't worry about it. So, all right, enjoy that one. Moving on to the next. All right, so one of the other things I want to discuss is the changes they made to faction raids. Now, I tried my darndest to trigger a faction raid. I killed so many ants, I could not for the life of me trigger a faction raid. I don't know what it was, but I don't know if they have it turned off for the public test server or whatever, but it just wasn't working for me. Now, I didn't want to do it through a waft emitter. I wanted to experience a raid naturally as the game chooses to raid you. So basically what they said they did was reduce the amount of larger creatures that would attack you, so you would have less of the larger type of that. So if you have ants, you're probably going to have less of the soldier ants and more of worker ants. If you have spiders, you'll probably have more orb weaver juniors than you're going to have in the baby ones, and then you're going to have of the larger orb weavers. They've also said that they basically lightened the load for beginning players, and as you progress through the game, raids will get significantly harder. So essentially it's going to be less likely to trigger a raid early on in the game, and then it's going to be not as easy, but the raids will become slightly harder. Probably more bugs and creatures will attack your base as you progress further in the game. And another thing is that larger creatures obviously won't attack you as much, depending on how many players you have. Now, this is something that's kind of already been in there a little bit, but it did seem like they honed in more on if you are a single player, you're not going to get as heavy as an attack as you would if you had, let's say, 3 or 4 players or 3 players total with you. So that's nice. So they are making adjustments to the raids. I do think this is a win, a W. You also can switch your already saved games to a custom game to turn off raids if you'd like to, so they gave you that option. I'm going to keep raids on in most of my games just because I think that's a fun part of the game. And if they aren't annoying, then hey, that's wonderful. Also, one of the big change, and we'll probably just wrap up with this, I really did. I really tried to trigger one. I could not do it. They may have them shut off for the public test server. I don't know that, but I could not trigger one to save my life. I killed so many red ants. I killed so many spiders. They will not come attack my base. Or they won't even tell me that there's a warning that they're going to come attack my base. So I couldn't trigger one. Sorry. But I did wanted to discuss that they also said that they're going to try, the system will try to automatically save the moment an attack is triggered, which is awesome. So you will get a save just before the attack triggers. If you would like to take advantage of that, you can just revert back to the last save, potentially saving your base and whatever else may have been damaged during the attack. So that's cool. So they're making big changes from that. I absolutely love the idea of, I don't want to get rid of it, obviously, and I don't think it should be reduced too much. You should be punished because that's kind of how the raid should be set up. But I do think that help out the beginning players because they don't have bases set up, and then also reduce players who are playing by themselves because we can't take advantage of some stuff, or can't use some stuff that they've implemented in the game because it would be only beneficial to use some certain stuff with players versus without players. So that's something that I'm glad they're looking into. Awesome. All right, guys, and the final thing we want to talk about is, and people have made videos on this, and basically how great pets are now. But let's go over a little bit of the finer details of why they are actually great now. And they're a lot better. I think there's some minor tweaking that needs to be done with the gnat here, but hey, he's new. They'll work it out. I'm sure they will. But some of the great things that I think they found is that if you're in your inventory, you actually have a pet button now that you can select. Your pet shows up next to you. You can select that, and you actually have 10 slots that you can choose to load, 10 extra slots basically. So it's a way to give backpack space without having to give up or to concede and giving us bigger backpacks. You know what I'm saying? Like that. They basically said from the start that they didn't want giant backpacks in this game, or like the ability to have like a large storage or inventory space. I get that because it does kind of take away the whole, like survival side of it. And it's like, it really makes you kind of have to go out and get materials and keep collecting versus just gather every single thing you come across and go take it back home and you have it all there with you. I get it. But having a pet with you now, you have 10 extra slots. Pets got a boost in health. If you put armor on them, they got a boost in armor. They stay alive a lot longer. They don't take damage as much, which is super great. Any of the buffs you get with having pets, so just like here with the gnat, you get a glide longer. So the gnat friend gives you a glide longer time. So any of the buffs you get, passive buffs you get for having a gnat, have been increased slightly, which is super cool. So things you can take advantage of that. So once again, so this is just minor things that they have done to really push this game a little bit further and a little bit past, kind of like giving us the, let's say like a mount, but without having, without actually having a mount, stuff like that. And the stuff that they said they're not going to implement in the game. But this just shows to me that they are listening to, they're listening to us. They're listening to what we're asking for, things like that. We've asked for bigger backpack space for a long time. So they added milk mullers that increased basically slot sizes of how much we can carry of individual items, which is super cool. But then we were like, can we just get more slots? Can I just put more things in my backpack? And they're like, well, we don't really want to do that. We don't want to increase that. We think the backpack size is nice. But then they go ahead and give us a gnat that can carry 10 extra items, or not just the gnat, but they give us pets that can carry 10 extra items, and an easy way to access them was kind of the biggest thing here, because so far pets have been fun, but they kind of get lost, or they get stuck, lost, sometimes they die, things like that. But they're making them a lot more durable, which I super like. The only thing that I would ask is that maybe a pickup method or something with the creatures. The gnat isn't as bad because he can fly over a lot of obstacles, but once you have like the weevil or the aphid, they can get kind of stuck in some areas, so that's kind of annoying, if you know what I'm saying. If you have one of those, you know what I'm talking about. They do try to limit that, and they do try to fix that a lot with the movement of the creatures, and a lot of them will just end up snapping through whatever they've been attached to, and they'll end up by your side at some point. But the fact that you can access the pet button from no matter where they get stuck or not, you can still access the pet button and get back your whatever your inventory slots are. It's great. So keep that in mind. If you're out exploring or you're out grabbing stuff, you need to pick up a bunch of supplies. Take along a pet with you. Take them with you. I mean, that's usually I would keep my pet at the house, but hey, he's gonna be coming out on adventures with me now. That's my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you use these things to your advantage. Remember, if you see anything in the game that you dislike, you may not be alone. Go to their Discord, go to the support tabs, find out, is there a reason this is in the game? Is there something that we can do to make this a little bit better? And they really do listen. I do think that they actually listen to us. I'm not saying that we always will agree with every single thing that the devs do to this game, because we're not going to. That's just facts. Not everybody's going to be 100% happy with everything we see. But I do think they do a great job at trying to implement as much as we ask for as possible. And I cannot wait for future things of this game. As soon as it comes out, I know they're going to start working on all the new things with this game. And if that animated show takes off that they've been talking about, I absolutely 100% know that they're going to start backing with a ton of money and possibly getting some crazy DLCs in the future. I can't imagine them not monopolizing on that if the show takes off and everything like that, which I feel like it will, because I don't think it has any reason to fail. I think it'll be a quality show, even if people don't play the game. I mean, people loved Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, so I think people are going to absolutely love this animated show as well, and I just think that's going to bring in more money, bring in more eyes to the game, bring in more players. It's going to be free on Game Pass, so hey, what's stopping anybody, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you end up liking this video at all, please hit that like button below. It does help with the algorithm. If you end up liking me at all, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I love Grounded. Grounded's one of my main games that I play, but also love a ton of other survival games. If you guys want to hang out with me, check out survival games. You have survival games that you love and you want to see me play them, or you want to hang out with me while I check them out, hey, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, tell you anytime I upload new stuff, and hey, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.